From the NSAS protest, to the embattled minister having ties with terrorism, to medical tourism of President Buhari, to the absence of the First Lady from the country, to the killings, to the corruption issues, and to the many issues that dominate social media engagement, it is clear that the older generation and the younger ones have varying priorities. It is abundantly clear and proven that the millennial and Gen Z generation have a different standard for living, different from what the older generation of Nigerians have believed in and practiced over the years. My name is Emeka Subike, and welcome to today's podcast. Leadership is known to have underlying principles that are acceptable across board. Nations, tribes, races, and religions. There are expectations about leadership that are common to any human being. However, there are situations where what applies in one country or sphere of life might not apply to the other. I believe this disparity in leadership values is playing out in Nigeria today. The older generation has beliefs and ideas about how certain things should be done, but to the younger generation, such beliefs are wrong and should not be seen in our national life. The old believe that even when someone is regarded as a corrupt person and has done badly in governance, such a person still has the right of being called a Nigerian, so they don't mind being around such a person. They dine and wine together with no reference to what the person has done or has not done. You can even see them praise such a person knowing fully well that this person has been found wanting in certain areas. On the other hand, the younger generation regarding what someone has done or not done believes in the cancel culture. They are quick to write you off once you have been seen to be a person of questionable character with some ills to your name. Once you dare tweet or retweet something that many see as wrong, even if it is the first time or you did it for the band, you are thereby cancelled. There are much more examples to show and prove that the old is different from the young. But what this situation shows is a clash of two generations that are inherently different. The older generation can be seen as being patient and not being quick to judgment, while the younger ones are impatient and quick to respond and react, and sometimes prematurely so. When news breaks about something like the current insecurity going on, and someone accuses IPOB of the attack, what the younger generation will do is to start tweeting and showing their support for or against the different players. In no time, IPOB or Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will start trending. In this situation, the older generation hardly responds immediately. They can take a day or two, and by the time they do, there might be more revelations about what might have happened. Let me add that while the two players, that is young and old, act differently, some schools of thought in leadership will believe in responding immediately, while some will ask that the facts are gotten right. Also, the way and manner of response matters. A recent example is the situation of the Minister of Digital Economy, Issa Pantami, that his utterances in the past have linked him to terrorist groups. The young demanded he is sacked, but most of the old ones preferred not to talk about it. Even former government officials who are normally active online did not issue any statement regarding the matter. And when the president eventually spoke, they sided with the minister. We're going to be right back after this segment. If you examine these attitudinal responses from these two generations, you will agree that we are different from each other. The young are eager for many things, while the old are patient on their part. Now, is anyone better than the other? I don't think so entirely, but there are situations where one will have to take precedence over another. It's better I don't cite any example, but speaking generally, there are times when you have to be patient, observe, and get the facts before you eventually respond. And there are times when you have to respond immediately because it is the right thing to do at that time. Let me try and round up by quoting Nigeria's vice president who said, "The old need the strength of the young, while the young need the wisdom of the old as we build our country Nigeria," paraphrased. I agree with this statement. In addition to that statement, the two generations need to consciously imbibe the ways of one another. There should be an exchange of values, where the young learn the ways of the old, while the old learns the ways of the young. They both cannot be wrong or right all the time, but they can learn when to be right by understanding the ways of each other. As it is, we have a generational leadership shock in our hands. It's like we don't understand each other. and many are repulsive in seeking to understand one another. I believe that the young are in a better position to learn and understand the ways of the old, not the foolish ways, but the wisdom in the way they have led their lives and contributed to where our country is today. If you ask me, being patient in the face of so much noise and pressure is a mark of wisdom. Thank you for listening.